Well, that's something new. Yeah, here's another one. And another. Huh. Must be river mussel season. What is up, everyone? Scott the TroutHammer here. Really don't know what to make of the conditions we have here today. So I'm back at Buena Vista County Park, and the water has actually gone down about a foot since the last time I've been here, which is weird because the rain's returned this week. That's why I'm not fishing a pond right now. You can tell we had some rain, though. The water's cloudy. It means I rigged up correctly with some darker colors, but you know, we'll see what happens. I might be early in the season to start hitting the river hard, but I'm kind of starting to switch my gear over from pond and lake fishing to river fishing, because that's pretty much all we have for us here in Oregon. Once the weather turns over, once that seasonal cliff, we just fall off. But anyway, quick reminder that the giveaway for my top 5 salmon lures is still going on. If you guys want to get involved in that giveaway, you need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and in this video I will give you the comment I want to see below. All of those will get you qualified for the giveaway. And also, it's Saturday, which means it's shout out time. So yeah, I'm giving shout outs to new subscribers that subscribe during the week, and if I can read your name, if your account setting is on public, I can read it. So, you know, today I got shout outs for Isaac Holler, Dion Tan, Sebastian Howard, Tom Chapman, bunch of easy names this time, Justin Cook, Echidon, the PDX Seller, Now Show a Family, Love to Wander, I know I do, Andrew Nahara, Lance Stiegel, and Killshot. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. It totally means the universe to me, because that's how this channel is going to grow. That's how I'm going to get to the point I want to get, and how I'm able to help you guys more with fishing knowledge, fishing love. So thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel, and thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel that had your account settings on private. You guys know who you are. You guys are my rock stars. So yeah, it is early fall and we're on the river, which means I want some smallmouth, and I brought pretty much the usual stuff I bring for smallmouth. Got a Texas rig creature, got my crankbaits, got a grub. This water's going to be a bit of a challenge right now. I have no idea what the water temperature looks like, but I mean, from what I could feel around me, I mean, it's a lot colder than it was the last time I was here. I mean, it's like, obviously the air's colder, but I mean, just like feeling down here by the water, I'd say the water's probably somewhere in the mid-60s. It means the bite should still be on, but let's get some line wet and see what happens. Yep, you saw me. There you go, guys. That's a fish. There you go, guys. That's unreal! Oh, this is such an awesome looking fish. Oh, yeah! Alright, guys, check that out. I also think it is the first time since maybe April that I brought a sweater with me, just in case. So let's just start searching with the lipless crank. You know, I was kind of hoping the rain started to wash away that stuff. Jeez, that snot grass is like a foot under the surface, so I did not let that sink at all. Yet we might not be fishing with exposed hooks. Just kind of makes me happy I didn't even bother bringing my jerk baits. Jeez. Alright, that's it. We're going weedless, boys and girls. Sucks, because it's 2/3 of what I brought is my crankbaits. Alright, Mr. Pit Boss. Let's search around this timber down here. You guys remember last time I was out here, I fought and lost what would have been my new personal best smallmouth. And it was because I had a 2/0 hook on there. So, got a little bit of a vendetta today. I got that rigged up with a 4/0 hook. Ooh, that was a strike. Yeah, I felt that big arm of algae. I just hopped over. Take that, algae. I'm weedless. I know it's Oregon, but you're not welcome here. Yeah, fishing the grub from Smart Baits. One of the best things about this, about these plastics from Smart Baits is the color changing plastic. They are cold, or they are red when they're cold, and when you warm them up, they get a little chartreuse in them. Well, that was a fish. I can tell because I could see it shoot off after it hit. No idea what you were. It might be time to try a different river. How's it going? Good. Thank you. Get a few in down here while I'm down here. I had a short strike right in front of where you were sitting on a grub.
Falling it in a few times. jumped out of the water and got off the hook. But...
Starting to wish I decided to fish a pond.
Oh, yeah. It must be pretty deep right here because the water don't move very much.
Actually, I think it's really only about maybe 7 feet. Oh. Yeah. Because I've fished with weighted lures before, and I know how long it takes to hit bottom, and it doesn't take very long. That was a bite. Yep. Move my plastic. Hi.
Is that you?
No, it wasn't me.
What the?
Well, I'll flip over there, see what it was. Now I'm too curious about what was jumping over here. Yeah, I think it's about time for me to head out. Man, I don't want to do this, but I think it's about that time where I pretty much switch all my gear over from this to this. I'm just going to sit for a minute, though. I'd still say pretty good streak. That's the first time I've gone out fishing and not caught anything since middle of July. Yeah, so pretty good run. But it's a day I dread. The day I've come to know as the seasonal cliff. And I was afraid the seasonal cliff is going to come early this year, and sure enough it has. Usually it comes end of this month. It's the first week of this month, and it finally hit. Already missing bass fishing. Can't really say I miss crappie fishing. I just barely found it right at the end of the summer. So yeah, this isn't let's just say it's an adult beverage. So that means my goal is to switch all of my gear from bass, smallmouth, panfish, switch all my gear from basically warm water pond fishing to cold water river fishing, cold water lake fishing. I think part of the reason why it's a little bit harder this year is because I never went to E.E. Wilson this year with the way they increased the price of the wildlife pass to park at the parking lot to fish the lake. It wasn't worth it with how little money I had during the early part of the year, and also wasn't able to afford the wildlife pass to fish it for basically 2 months. But anyway, I will go back to E.E. Wilson next year. That is a guaranteed. I need to fish E.E. Wilson. I've been having dreams of going there. This is the first year in almost 8 years I haven't fished E.E. Wilson. That is the biggest mosquito I've ever seen. Yeah, you fly that way. But it means pretty much for the rest of this year and going into next year, we're switching everything over from trout fishing, salmon fishing, steelhead fishing, and surf fishing. Well, let's do the dirty. Pretty much this time of year for me, this whole stack gets put away, except spinners and spoons, carp, catfish, and sturgeon. But I'll leave crankbaits and swim baits at the top of the stack because I will still break into those from time to time for salmon. But this is pretty much my tray, my primary fishing tray for the next 4 or 5 months. I miss you already, Topwater. So, what do I do with the rods? Jigging rod and reel combo is pretty much just gonna stay on the rack for a while. I cleaned it a couple days ago, so I should have made a video of this, but I already cleaned all my rods, getting them ready for pretty much winter storage. But yeah, the reel's already been re-oiled, and rod's been cleaned, reel's been cleaned. Pretty much just gonna sit on the rack here for the next couple months, as will the heavy jigging topwater rod. Reaction rod will still be used because I will still use the crankbaits and glide baits for salmon and steelhead fishing, but also I do run some of my heavier spoons and spinners on this, like my 1 ounces I run on this. So we pretty much have the 3 larger spinning rods we're going to deal with. I guess I'll start with the smallest. Pretty much the only thing I'm going to do with a light rod is I'm going to add a very, very, very small barrel snap swivel on the end of this, because this is going to be used primarily, well, pretty much exclusively, for my smaller to medium size spoons and spinner lures. And these are the Poochie swivels, in case you're curious, and I've used these swivels for a long time. They don't mess with the action of the lure. I know with a spinner and a spoon, well, especially with a spinner, you don't want the whole lure to spin, you just want that blade to spin, but been using these a long time. Doesn't really mess with the action of the lure, just makes for quick, easy on and off of changing color and changing size. So yeah, the light rod is going to see a lot more action next couple of months, especially when it comes to trout fishing in some of our lakes and ponds that are going to get stocked here in the next couple of weeks to months, but also for cutthroat fishing on the LC. Medium action spinning that I have the 8-pound P-line CX Premium on. Pretty much the only thing I'm doing with this is taking the bass gear off and storing the bass gear. I don't put anything on the end of this rod getting ready for winter fishing because I sort of go back and forth with this rod. I go back and forth between if I want to do a Carolina rig on a second rod, that's the rod I put the Carolina rig on, and also I do run some of my medium to sort of like medium heavy size spoons on that rod. Spoons and spinners. See you in a couple months, Senko. So yeah, now just pretty much going to give this rod a sleeve, and it's ready to add on whatever I'm going to use based on what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. I'm actually really interested to see how this rod is going to handle some of the heavier fish. I have already landed a 6-pound brooder on the Ultralight, so I want to see how that rod's going to handle a salmon, maybe a steelhead. Never fought a wild fish on that rod before, like wild fish that big, so we'll see. And then the 7-foot medium heavy that I have been running a Texas rig on for bass for pretty much the entirety of the spring, fall, or the spring, summer, and fall. This one I'm doing something different with. Since I pretty much stick to smaller spoons on the light and medium rod, and then on the 7-foot casting rod, my reaction rod, that's the one I run my heavier spoons and spinners on. For this heavier casting rod, I use this pretty much exclusively as a Carolina rig for trout. So just taking the leader off that had the Texas rig on it, I'm just going to set this aside to add back on when it comes bass time again. And this guy is getting a small swivel, just a simple open-ended swivel, not a snap on either side. A bead, pretty much just going to stick to chartreuse, and a 1/2 ounce tungsten Carolina weight. Weight first, bead second, and the swivel, Palomar knot. And that's pretty much how I'm going to leave this bee. I'm going to let this be ready to have a leader and hook put onto it because it really depends on where and when I'm going to be fishing the Carolina rig on this to let me know how long of a leader I'm going to need, what size hook I'm going to need, whatever. So pretty much just going to leave this with the first part of a Carolina rig setup. I guess one of the nicest things about switching over to winter fishing is this thing is going to be so much lighter. Actually, speaking of which, there's still some other things I need to take out of there for the season. Pretty much don't need any of my scents. These will find a temporary home in this drawer. I think that's it. Nothing else? Oh, I don't need to carry these. Handy to have around bass plastics. Not going to be fishing those anytime soon. So like I said, in here is pretty much just a collection of salmon and steelhead sized spinners and spoons I always bring with me. And then some stuff for some jigging and like bottom fishing. Oh, that's where I put those swivels. I was actually looking for those swivels. Tell it's been a while since I've used that. Yeah, and besides that, the 8.5 foot heavy spinning rod, I leave that set up as it is with a 1 ounce tungsten weight for Carolina rig fishing for, you know, heavier fish, because the heavy rod, it's got a 30-pound braid on it. Still got the drift rod set up with a drift rig and a jig, and then the surf rod pretty much already set up. Don't really got to do anything with that. Just the bass rods I got to store. The other sort of like panfish and finesse bass fishing spinning rods had to switch over. I don't like unitaskers. I try having rods that do everything. But pretty much the comment that I'm going to want to see for the giveaway for these guys here, my top 5 salmon lures. So you got the Bill Lewis Knock and Trap, you got the Blue Fox Rattlin' Pixie, the Blue Fox size 5 spinner, got the Savage Gear glide bait with that marabou and flashabou tail, and then I include 2 different colors of fireflies, pretty much 2 go-to colors, a chartreuse and a pink and purple jig, both of them the 1/4 ounce size with a 1/0 hook. Yeah, the comment for the giveaway for those, my top 5 salmon lures, I want to know what you guys switch over your gear for in the winter. I know here in Oregon, this is pretty much what I switch over for, is salmon, steelhead, surf, trout, maybe sturgeon. We'll see. Yeah, definitely became much more of a bass fisherman this year, and it's a sad day for bass fishing in Oregon. Are you a fluffy speed bump? Oh, look how big you're getting. I'm not kidding, guys. I've already had to buy 12-month clothes for her. Look at you. What do you want to say to people? What do you want to say to the audience? Look at that face. Oh, there's my smile. I love you. Say, hi everyone. So much to tell you, but I'm so tired. So I got 3 more shout outs to give. Well, 2 for new subscribers. guys that subscribed while I was out fishing today. One for Jacob Bobian and one for Edward Palmer. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. You know, definitely glad I could get your shout out in before I finish the video. And then I got another big shout out to one of my best friends, a real brother of mine, Jesse Lowther, because he gave me this to keep cranking on here, making my videos. That thing died out a couple days ago. Yeah, that last Real Talk I had to edit on the laptop, and that thing took forever. Definitely not even close to editing as fast as this computer does. It's sort of like the Frankenstein's monster that Jesse and another best friend of mine, Walker Orr, they put together for my birthday a couple years ago. So couldn't have done this channel without you guys. So there's a special shout out for you too. But yeah, this is pretty much where I'm gonna leave you guys, and already in here, just gonna pretty much get the video, get the content off of the camera, and start editing away. But I want to know what you guys thought down in the comments below, especially for the comment I wanted. Now remember, I just said for the giveaway, but for everything you need to do to get included in the giveaway, you guys need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys switch your gear over to in the winter. If you guys have certain fish species that are prevalent in the winter, and if here in Oregon where bass and a lot of warm water species just completely disappear in the winter, I want to know what you guys switch over for. But if you guys like the content that I make on this channel, and you guys want to help me produce better content, I got a link to Patreon down below. Please check that out for me. And also down there I got links to my Facebook, my Instagram, those goodies, and I am being a lot more active on Instagram. I'm actually thinking about doing the giveaway in 2 weeks on Instagram Live, going live on Instagram. So, I keep plugging this every video. Please follow me on Instagram. Please like my page on Facebook. That's also how the profile of the channel is going to increase, and I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for that. Other than all that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, tips up, tight lines, and have fun fishing.